Hello YouTube, and welcome to this GameMaker Basics tutorial. In this tutorial, I will be teaching you the basics of GameMaker so you can start making your own games. So when you first open up GameMaker, you will be fronted by this screen. To make a new project, you're going to go to New, type in your project name, and then hit Create. Once you are in your project, there are a couple things over here. There are mini buttons up here and across here, and I'm going to walk you through the most important ones in this tutorial. So first, sprites. Now, sprites are the graphics for your game. If you can create a sprite by right-clicking this and clicking Create Sprite, or clicking this Pac-Man icon on the top of the screen. And this window will open. You can type in the sprite's name. Make sure to type in SPR underscore and the name of the sprite. So, player. Then you're going to go to Edit Sprite and click Create New Sprite and then click OK. Double click this and now you can design your sprite. These are all the basic tools in any image editing software. So I may do a tutorial on how to use those later, but for now I'm just going to make a basic square with a dark green outline, and when you're done with your sprite you click this check mark. Then you click this check mark and then hit center. This makes sure the origin of the sprite is in the middle of the sprite, so when something happens like the sprite rotates, it'll know that that's the center of the sprite and to rotate around that axis. And it helps with many more things too. And then you're going to click OK. So now we have a player. And so this is going to be the graphics, what you see on the screen. And next is the objects, what you actually interact with and what do things on the screen. So you have the graphics, and then this basically brings them to life and makes them do things. So again, you're going to right click and create object, or click this little circle up there. Then you can type in the name. Make sure to type in obj underscore and then the sprite name. So we can type in player. And then you can click on this little icon right here and click on your player sprite, and now it'll assign that graphic to the player. Now I'm going to talk about events and actions. Events are what triggers the actions. So if you click add event and create event, then when the object is created and first brought into the level, it's going to run whatever is in here. Now there are all these drag and drop functions that you can drag in, except whenever we're making games, we're going to be using code. And I recommend using code whenever you're making games too. So anything you just drag in, and then you can type in your code. We're not going to go over code in this video. Right now I'm just walking you around GameMaker to get you comfortable with it. Next tutorial we will be going into coding. And another event, which the two events you're going to be using the most are the create event and the step event. Now what a step event is, first you need to know what a step is. A step is every time the game updates. Like every time it reads, if you hold the button down, that'll be in the step event. It's just running this code or whatever you have in here in the actions bar every time the game updates, or every frame. So when you click this, you want to hit step. And now if you drag in code, whatever is typed into this code will be run every frame. And so this is for collision checking, moving the player, and just doing actions that you need to always be happening or always running. So you can click the check mark, and then you can just click OK. And now I'm going to be talking about rooms. So rooms would be levels or even menus. Anything where there are objects in the world would be in a room. So the same way you create rooms is how you create objects in Sprites. You right click on it and hit create room, or you'll click this little white box icon. So if you create a room, you can go to settings, click on the settings tab, and then under name it RM underscore and then whatever you want, like level 1. And we'll go over more of these later. But right now you're just going to go to objects, and you can select your objects by clicking this button and then select the object you want. It automatically selected our player because that's the only object we have. And then if you click in the world, it'll place it. And as you can see, it's using the sprite we made through the object. And then if you were to run the game, then as you can see all of them here. Now, if we add in a little bit of code, you don't have to pay attention to this code. It's just a demonstration. If I add in that code, it'll give you a demonstration of a step event. If I run it, now you see they're flying to the side because it's running that code I wrote, which moves the position of the player to the side every frame, so it's moving them. And now I'm going to talk about the X and Y, well, basically locations inside of a room. So first, up here in the corner, that is 0 Y, which is up and down, and 0 X, which is side to side. And then down here is however wide your room is and tall your room is. So let's say this was 500. Then if we wanted to place something in the middle, the Y for that would be 250 and the X for that would be 250. Now this room isn't an exact square. It's not 250 to get to the middle. There are ways to get the exact middle, but that's the basics of layouts. And so if you would want to move an object up, you'd have to subtract its Y value, because since this top is 0, then wherever the player is, you want to subtract value to get closer to 0, and then add value to go down. Same with X, subtract to go left, add to go right. And that is the end of this GameMaker tutorial. The next tutorial will be going over code and some basic coding syntax. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see the next tutorial, and like this video to help support the channel. Thanks for watching.